Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Space Engineers. Welcome back to the channel. I'm your host, Quantum Tater. Quantum Tater, say hello. Yes, we are in an airtight environment, but I still got to do the thing. Last time, we worked on getting the squirrel pad built out. We worked on the squirrel pad being built out. We worked on this little med room here, and we also finished up the. We did basically the mine and stuff. Now I've added some lights to the squirrel pad because, well, you know, it felt like the right thing to do. We also, got to some other stuff. We got up to some other shenanigans, and a little bit longer of an episode, and I'm really sorry about that, but what we're going to do right this second is we're going to cut to me building something else. So look at that right now. And we're back. All right. What do you think about that? So, that, my friends, is the start of the flying squirrel. And I know what you're thinking. That's crazy. But it's not crazy. So, we built out I don't know why that was taking so long to close. So we've got ourselves a little pathway to walk around. I was going to add some lights to the front of these cargo containers, but I ran into some issues where I couldn't do that. Got our ladder going to the roof. We have some beautiful lighting. Lighting up the wonderful H Nutter. As you can see, it's a nicely lit area. Chad had said that I could set up some lights around the base to be based on the sun position and stuff. I could do that. I don't know that I'm going to, but I could definitely do that. I don't think they use enough light that I'm worried about it, honestly. Um, and then we built out this little thing with our wonderful welder and the flying squirrel V1. So you got the grinder business end, or you got the business end and the grinder end. It is all piped up and working fine. It has 3 side thrusts, 1 down thrust. We're gonna have to get that fixed up. That's definitely not enough down thrust. But for right now, it definitely does the thing. Gravity will take care of the rest of us for that. It's got, I think, 3 reverse thrust and 3 forward thrust. Actually, don't quote me on that, but I believe it is 3. Oh, no, it is 4 forward thrust, or 4, excuse me, 4 reverse, 3 forward, depending on which side of ship you're flying on. So that's not done. That's not the way I want to look. But I also did some other stuff off screen, in addition to adding these lights, which this was not added on there. But I added lights to the squirrel pad. You can see over here. And I also did some changing up over here. Uh, and you'll notice that looks different. So let's go take a look at that, our mining thingamabob, bob my thing. Why is this not set to depressurize? It is. It's just, okay, whatever. So if we come over here, I added some additional lights in here, so it is more lit than previously. Got our ATM for putting in the money. Got our list. Got our death counter, of which there hasn't been any. Some close calls. We put a bed up here so that I could take a nap on this base. I also put in this, you may have noticed, so I can get some health back on this base because I continue to try to cook myself aggressively. That's on me mostly. But if we walk into here, I decided to expand this. Remember, I had said that this could be a little bit bigger, and I was not wrong about that. So this is all the same. But if we walk over here, we've got a nice little thing. I built out the drill some, so this is our light. If we turn on the lights, we can see we've got a light up there, right there, and then we have a light, those 2 lights on the end of that over there. And so that is that. We got ourselves the power of the grid. This is what's going on. You can see my mouse moving around and stuff. We wanted to click around and look at stuff. We have our set program, our run program, and our stop program for here to handle the mining. And I have expanded the drill. So let's go out and take a look at that. We can take a look at the outside over here. I forget that that's pressurized, so I don't need to be as careful as I was trying to be. I know, you just keep filling the hole and it keeps not whatever. So, yeah, I added a secondary horizontal piston as evidenced by the secondary horizontal piston. And then I added additional drills for this side and a single down. So we'll be grinding out this area here in a double motion. So we're going to expand the amount of drilling that can be done by this guy here. And I don't think it will cause conflict with that. Although thinking about it now, it may very well cause conflict with that. So we may need to grind this up, which is fine. We can do that. I'll go ahead and start doing that now. We get the lights on so that people aren't blind. Put that there. We can at the very least knock this in there. We'll do, I think if we get this part off, we should be able to, no, we'll probably just do it all. There's no reason to risk it for the biscuit. Yeah, inventory full. All components composited. And I think honestly, there we go. So we'll leave that the way that is. But we got this started, and I haven't obviously started this drill, but I figured we can get some additional resources. This is going to go double the footprint further out, which means it should hit this cobalt section here. So we'll be getting our process back. Yeah, but this is what the outside of this looks like. Kind of wonky looking, a little futuristic. I wanted some more viewing angle, and I wanted some more space, and it butts right up next to the edge, so hopefully that doesn't cause an issue where it grinds, but I figured that we would do. So we got the flying squirrel. Now what I need to do on it specifically in this moment, I believe we're tested. I haven't put the event controller down. I need to. That is definitely on my list of things, on the to-do things list. If I can find the dang event controller. I don't, what color is that? Event controller, we'll just grab that right there. We'll add, I want to put this somewhere, I don't know. I like having these things in a place where like they're almost visible, like usable outside of it. Like we can put it right here so I can like, while it's there, I can like look through the window and see an incomplete block. That works for me. I like that. All right, event controller, we're going to call this the FS event controller. That's GS, that's not FS. So yeah, Chad had said basically lights on a thing. Let's see, you can have base lights turning on and off, base solar power hinge rotor position, even more controllers. Yeah, I could just do more controllers. I could do more things. Yeah, Monty Python's Flying Squirrel. This should be interesting to see built. You know what? It will be interesting, Chad. It will be. And then prepared Viking, welcome back. Said ignore colors for Bob's and self-maintenance unit, not welders. I also figured that out. Thank you. And let's see. John also had some words of encouragement. Thanks, John. Says it's great to get all the little things sorted out. You could do with some pad lighting. You're correct on that. The base on the base, so also a medical station on the base wouldn't hurt you. That's also true. You know, just in case. I mean, I'm not saying nothing, but we all know. So, you know what? I haven't had any major incidents, John. So, ye of little faith. Speaking of which, I should rename this to be Mine Medical. The Fee Mine Medical. Here we go. Let's get this. We'll do Fee Mine Survival Kit. I don't care what type it is. That's irrelevant to me. So yay, I can heal myself on this base. I know that's big time important. Flying hauler grinder welder. That could possibly go wrong with that thing I've got to see. Well, you're going to get to see it here. Your to-do list on the farm. One irrigation unit for 30 farm plots might be a little tight. If they're all full of crops, I've had a failed harvest due to lack of water. So I do have like in my planning stage, I kind of want 2 irrigation systems per types of seeds. And if we look really quick, so we have 4 types of seeds. So that's effectively 1 irrigation for, we're going to call it 10 seeds each of these types. Maybe, no, there's this, oh, spore is the other thing. So 5. So 5 by 5 is 25. So we're going to have two irrigation plots for 5. Let's go ahead and take a nap. Ooh, I haven't actually slept in this bed. You can kind of look at that. It really changes nothing of the night sky, but that's okay. It's all right. We're good. But the important thing is we can see because we're in the daylight. So let's go ahead. Let's give the flying squirrel a little bit of a testaroo, shall we? That sounds like a good idea. Now we have 2 cockpits. One is for the grinding, which isn't currently working, which is weird to me. So let's. No, that's the wrong thing. Okay, so let's do connector. The flying squirrel connector. I'm going to switch lock here. How are we doing on fuel? We definitely are going to need some fuel. So let's get this. We'll just call this FS hydrogen. And let's go ahead and put this thing on stockpile. Let's get this thing filled up. I'm not trying to run around with no fuel. Now we do have a ton of fuel. This is going to be a pretty large fuel load, all things considered. Let's see, get this thing knocked out. We're just going to go to 100. No reason not to. I do got that event controller, so that'll give us the ability to do some stuff. But let's. We have another problem. What is FS hydrogen engines? Ah, yes, perfect. Let's go and get these things turned. Let's do. We're going to toggle them on, and we're going to toggle them off, and that way we can bop. All right, yeah, that's got some lift. Okay, you know what we still have? If we look at the groups, perfect. We can grind. We've got a ton of lift. I wonder if that thing still exists. Where was that at? Do we remember? You know what? Wait a minute. Oh, there it is. I was like, where the bloody hell is my mine? I had a whole moment. That was an alarming. Oh, look, I still see it. The wreck is still there. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. That's what we want to see. Now, I don't know what the lift is on this. That's quite a bit of downward thrust, as you can see. And I plan to build this out. This is obviously the rough design, but what we should do really quick is we do hydrogen tanks. Let's do tank. So FS hydrogen tank, dink, dink, dink. We're going to do FS hydro tanks. I want those all on one, and the reason we want them on one is because when we go to the event controller, we're going to come in here and we're going to say upon connection, lock. We're going to make sure we plop that there. And then the first thing we want, first thing on our list, groups, hydrogen tanks, stockpile on, stockpile off. And then the next thing we can do, I think battery is what we want to normally, the next thing, oh, I guess the battery is going to be the first thing. We're going to put this on recharge, on, auto off for the disconnect. And then 3, what do we think? That's probably thrusters. That's the next one we want to do is thrusters off, thrusters on. All right, that kind of gives us the merits of that. Let's go do some grinding. Let's see what this can do. I honestly am not sure how well it's going to handle. They don't stick out very far. Um, I don't know why I picked 2 different cockpits either. That was a weird choice on my part. I definitely need more down thrust, but I was just kind of in the... You know what? Instead of having this is what I'm going to do. Instead of this being a toolbar we hold down, we're just going to say on, off. I don't have any interest in... I don't really have any interest in holding the buttons, so let's go ahead and turn on. We have no lights, so that's going to be fun. Oh, and for some reason, grinder, save, groups, grinder on, grinder off. Let's go ahead and get both of these things. Yeah, I don't know. You know, so someone point out, is there a range, a grinder range thing that would be potentially useful? Does anybody know? Because that's one of those things I don't know about. I don't know if people mod this thing the way they mod welders because welders are so infuriating and grinders are kind of equally infuriating, but for different reasons, you know? So this is what we're doing. This is what we're doing. We're going to test this guy out. I want to do some finishing building on it. Like, obviously, I've got the basic layout stuff I did, but, you know, like you guys are saying, there's a lot of good bits on this thing that we just left to the waste. So, you know, this is me correcting that problem. Plus, I wanted to test it out, and then when we go to build the farm, we've got ourselves this big welder that can carry more stuff than just nothing. Is kind of my theory and my plan. So I was like, oh, this will be a great test bed for this little idea of mine. And obviously, it seems to be doing okay. I don't know what the right, you know, I don't know what the right answer is for all this stuff. Um, if there is a like a range mod increaser for grinders, that would be super useful. I don't think there is, but I kind of want to get it. My plan in this moment is to kind of get it laden with stuff because I don't know how much weight it can hold. And right now I've got 4 medium cargo containers, but I had this idea of it looking kind of like a flatbed truck, which it does a little bit if you're on the other end of it. Obviously, there's some design critique I will take if you guys have some ideas of how it might look better. I'm not opposed to listening. You guys are great stewards of that kind of stuff. Let's see if we can get this guy down here. There we go. What else? What else do we got? The other part of it is with the situation as it stands. This guy, I'm gonna starve to death sitting in this cockpit. So what's gonna happen? So far the weight's pretty good. It doesn't feel like I'm over blowing the engines and stuff. So I definitely need more reverse thrust. I will need more. Because right now, like, if I get too laden and I get this thing tilted forward, it's definitely gonna cause problems. But I think we're doing pretty good weight-wise. Like, is it light? No. No, 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 it is not, but that's okay. And I feel like they need to stick out a little further, honestly. I probably could do, like, the way I would do that is maybe add a couple of, like, midsections. The cool thing about that, what I can do, is I can just, it can weld itself effectively, I think. So that, that's a possibility and a neat little facet of what we're going on here. So this is the Flying Squirrel, and I don't even think I labeled it properly. Flying Squirrel. You guys can make up whatever you think is necessary for that. And the reason I did this instead of an articulated arm one like I had sort of I think it was in the last one I had this idea of like swappable weapons. Thanks to Engineered Coffee, I think he kind of gave, the idea was definitely spawned from his design, but I continuously got, the best way I can describe it is like stick drift. Like I got a bunch of stick drift where it felt like anytime I was sitting idle, what am I hitting? I'm hitting on something. Every time I was sitting idle, it felt like I was slowly, um, every time I like was sitting there, like the ship would just slowly sink or go up or sink or go up or whatever. So the other thing I want to do, and we could actually do that with here with these parts if we wanted to. I wanted to kind of flesh out the bottom of this bad boy because I think what I don't like, what I don't care for, and actually we'll look at it when we get back to the base, but I kind of don't like how flat this is. So I think I'm gonna bring the connector down an additional block so that I can add some like effectively just greebling. So I can add some greebling and design work to the ship itself because this thing I think has merit. And then, but I don't know if we want to mess with this too much more this round. I think we do. I do. But I also know, ow, I also know that I'm going to break both of my welders in the midst of all this crap is what's going to happen. So welder, we got these two guys here. Uh, this, we can just delete that and then we do FS welders. That's what we want right there. This is working way better than the other thing. And it is faster. I don't think it's super faster, but well, it's definitely faster than me sawing through all this crap. But what I meant is like, I know that I don't know. I don't know what I know. What does anybody know what they know? I certainly don't know what I know. So while this is chewing, what we could do, I was going to say we could get out and do some stuff, but we really can't. That's not how this works. So I think, I know this is good bits. This is what everybody was saying. There's a lot of good resources in there. Well, here we are, collecting all the resources. Oh, this thing is going belly up. Don't bounce back and hit me in the face, please. And it's gonna, what is going on here? Okay. It's hard to judge the distance. I definitely want to move these things out. They are not low enough, in my opinion. They don't stick out far enough. I feel like we need to move them out one block for sure. So that's going to be a design change already. What do you guys think? What do you guys think of the flying squirrel? So far, it's working pretty good. I do know it needs more thrust in the forwards, the backwards, and all of those things. But for now, I think we're doing pretty good. From a welding perspective, they don't need to be any further out, primarily because I've got that mod that expands the reach of welders, making them infinitely more dangerous to the tater, but more useful to the tater too. So it's sort of like a catch-22, damned if I do, damned if I don't. Um, so, oh gosh, that's exactly how you get nuked. All right, do we get any other parts? No, we do not. Okay. This is pretty good. All right, so we're going to grind all this stuff up. I'll take it back to base, and then I'll catch you here in a second. Enjoy this brief time lapse. I don't actually know if I'll time lapse or just cut to, because you guys know what grinding looks like, and that's kind of what this is. And unless something catastrophic happens, there's no reason for you to watch me grind the rest of this crap down, outside of the entertainment value of me talking. So, yeah, we'll either time lapse, editor man, or just cut to me being super awesome in the next video. Or not next video, oh gosh. It's been a day, guys, it's been a day. But cut to me being more awesome later, doing stuff that's awesome and cool. Sick tricks, kick flips, or something, I don't know. Yeah, I'll catch you in a second. There's some very obvious discrepancies in the ship's maneuverability, but that's okay. We're going to get that sorted here in a second with some minor change-ups, but so far pretty successful. We picked up 19,000 liters of 20,000, basically 20,000 liters of material in that little extravaganza, so that works out pretty dang good. What we're gonna do, I think what we're gonna do really quick, we're gonna cut off the bottom here. Oh, okay, and then let's go with another. Why does it look like a different color? It does look like a different color, right? Is it because of that? Yeah, it's probably because of that. I need interior plate. So we're gonna go, let's do we want to do 2 down? I think. All right, FS connector there. I think we can do, make sure that the event controller has the proper system set up. So we're going to add that block back. Okay, and then what I was thinking, so we definitely need some more thrust in the reverse position. So what I could do for this, honestly, we should just, we need, basically I need to dump all this crap back, and then I need to go into here, and I need to go components. And I need to grab 100 of these, 100 of these, probably some more stuff, just in case. We'll say 100 of these, 100 of these, just for all the parts, all the bits. Yeah, that's what's up. Ain't nobody's breaking my shit. Well, in this moment, nobody's breaking my shit. Okay. So let's go 1, 2. That's 5. 6. That's going to be 6 backwards thrust. Backwards thrust? That's not the right. That's not the right term. 6 backward thrust. We need to do the forward thrust. We need to increase forward thrust because this is not. This is not enough, my opinion. So how do we do that? How do we make 1? 1, 2, 3. I have one idea. We do this right here. And we go to this block here, so that, like that, and then eight. Where's 8? 4. That's gonna be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 5. That's 5 backwards thrust. That's fine. It doesn't have to be completely symmetrical. The side thrust, we need more work there. Down thrust, we definitely need more work there. I'm trying to think the best way to achieve that. I think honestly, we're just gonna pop this guy out here, and we're going to say we're gonna put this guy like so, and then we're gonna move basically out in a T from there. We're gonna go 4. Yeah, I think this is gonna be a good idea because then what we can do this like so, and then the things that can happen, we can do thrust there, there, and 2 more to the side, which gives us additional side thrust. I think that's a good idea. That'll build that out, and then what I can do, I can get back into this bad boy here. How are we doing on fuel? We're doing great. We can do hydrogen. Nope. Oh my gosh. Hydrogen thrusters. So hydrogen thrust, we're going to copy this, and then we're going to say thrust. All of the thrusters are going to be called F5 hydrogen thrust. So F5, or not FS hydrogen thrust. We're going to add all those. We're going to say replace name, like so. That copies all that. Then we're going to click here. And we're going to hit save. We're going to eat food because we're hungry. Of course we are. So then that's going to be that And then if I come down here and I do connector and I say switch lock, where is that switch lock? Right there. Let me come down really quick. We're gonna just slowly touch down right here. I already like the distance here. I like the depth. We're gonna hit connect. And then what I can do is turn all this on. And that will repair all the stuff. And that gives us, yeah, perfect. I think, and that's every hydrogen thruster. So if we turn them all off, turn them all on. Disconnect, they should all come on. Reconnect, they should all turn off. And they are. Perfect. All right, so that, if we look at the, we already emptied out inventory, which is spectacular. But if we look at the, now we've got some, only 4 thrust, that's not great. But I think, honestly, we're not planning to be like sideways on our side that much. And so down thrust, definitely better than the one that we had up. So now I think the next step, we need some lighting and we need some blocks. Ah, oh, that's not good. Anyone care to take a guess as to what just occurred? I'll give you one hint. Base event controller, select. Oh, when seat is unoccupied. Let's go ahead and let's just go ahead and add all these blocks so that when I get out, I don't immediately die. Oh no! F in chat, kids. Why did I? We're going to discuss why that happened here in a second. I don't know is the answer. Okay. Good game, guys. We did it. I think I accidentally opened my visors. That's what I did. I know that's what I did. I opened... John, this is on you. You hexed me. You hexed me. Let me guess, Chad. What violation am I going to get this time? Oh, yeah. Anyway, well, live and learn. Live and let live, as the youth say. Okay, so oh, we could add one more thruster right there and right there if we wanted to. I don't know if we want to though. I don't think we do. I also don't think we want to. I don't know. Well, what we're gonna do is we're gonna lift off with this guy really quick and we're gonna add some blocks because I want to do some work. So my thoughts are basically. Bup, 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 bup. Let's do what I want. I think I want this block here. So I'm trying to think how I want to do this. I think we're going to add a thruster there just for the grins of it. I think I want to put one there, which means why don't I have the same block on that side? Oh, is it because I know what it's because we'll just add some blocks really quick. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's see. Oh, wrong button. Hydrogen. Thrust. Thrust, all thrust. Select all. Save. You two are going to get renamed. Place name. Perfect. Okay. So that's that. I want to do like, here's what I was thinking. Obviously, it can't be. I don't know how we're gonna bridge that gap. We're gonna bridge it somehow though. And then we'll put this there. I think I want to do this instead of what I was trying to do right there. And this can all be Um, yeah. Okay. So let's work with this flow really quick. I wanted to do another thing, which would be how are we doing this? How are we doing this? We're doing like this. I'll do that. Uh, there we go. And then I think, oh yeah, we're doing it this way. So there we go. Okay. So what are we doing? What are we doing with this? We want this to be kind of, I think there's a thing we can use for this. I don't know what it is though. Could we, I wonder, would this blow a hole? If I did like this scaffolding right here, would that blow a hole in it if I had it like this? Does anybody know? Let's find out. Let's find out if it will. It's a very easy test. The answer appears to be no. It's great news. It's great, beautiful news. Beautiful, great news. That's what we needed to hear. And then I wanted to have some landing gear, I think was the other thing I was thinking about. Let's do, because we want at least one landing gear. Oh, good grief. And then we probably should do the camera thing that I always talk about needing to do, but I don't ever do it. I also put in a remote control block. No, I didn't. I thought I had a remote block on here. I don't. I don't have a remote block, so that's okay. I don't need one right this second. It was just a sort of a thinking out loud thought. I also kind of like the idea of this looking like that instead of the way. Oh yeah. I think that's the move. Instead of what I had been doing. Like what if we did that and then yeah. And then this block here would be, I think it's gonna have to be this guy. Ooh, what do we think about that? What do we think? Do I not have steel plates to block? Oh, what am I doing here? How do I not have steel plates? Components. Eat some food. We need to really get on building that. So this is taking up more time than it ought to, but that's okay. That's okay. Let's go see. Let's get this welded up and see what it looks like. Oh, before I do that, you know, yeah, there's a whole thing I was trying to talk about doing. I like the idea of there being a couple of landing gear, and I like the idea of that landing gear being like right here. How's that one sitting, right? And then right there. Nope, that's not right. Is that right? That's not right. No, that is right. It's just this one has a block right there. Okay. And then we're going to take these and we're going to turn them off auto lock. Off auto lock. And then we come up here and we say landing, landing, put those like that. FS landing gear. And then beautiful. And then we come down here. Press the wrong button once again because that's what we're used to doing at this point in time in our lives. We're going to correct this side on this left, but we're going to have to lock it down, turn them on. Yeah, look at that. Beautiful. That's going to look cool. I'm liking the way this looks already. Now, I know I'm adding a bunch of weight by greebling it, but... Oh, not again! Hey, guys. Do you know what happens when you set this? Well, we have a problem. Anyone care to continue to postulate on what that problem might be? I'll give everybody a hint. Those two don't count. Those two don't count. I know energy low. Thank you, Janet. Shut up. we're gonna just take a beat, just take a moment. You know, the squirrel's gonna save our life, and I'll explain to you why. Why? It's interesting this cargo still has stuff in it, but I'm okay with it. It's fine. Unless something is damaged on that grid. Hold on for a second. Do we have a damaged grid over here? We shouldn't. Okay, well, whatever. Guys. Is this some kind of hubris? I feel like this is some sort of hubris. Did I fly too close to the sun? Was I too confident in my flying squirrel? Um, it feels like yes. It feels like yes. But that's okay because where there is confidence in the squirrels, there are some, you're bound. If when life hands you squirrel, no, give me a second. I'll get it together. You know, here's the thing. You can't have a few squirrels without a busted nut. That's the saying. You can't have a squirrel without a busted nut. Sometimes something. How's everybody doing? How's the week going? It's hump day. For me. Is it hump day for you? I guess no, it's not. You're watching this on Friday, so it's Friday for you. But I hope your week went well. Mine up until this point had been, you know, going in a way that would be considered not terrible, but also kind of, whatever. The squirrel still continues to be the safest mode of transport. John, you wanted me to make a flying bike, and so far the safest thing I have is this forsaken amalgamation that I've created. Uh, and I don't know why that is. I also don't know why when I plugged it back in and got out of the cockpit that it didn't turn off all the welders, but apparently that's because Clang is like you thought. Clang is rude and mean to me, and we're supposed to be friends, and he's betrayed me. So, you take that for what you will. The good news is I have this vehicle, and I can drive my little self back. I inadvertently, oh, the moon's gravity is playing with me. Let's get this thing locked up. Doesn't have to be perfect. We just need to lock it down so I can go to the um, welders, and I can turn off all of the welders. Okay, back to our regular scheduled programming where that doesn't happen. Oh no, I need that back. That's my food. You cannot have it. Oh, that's corpse number 2. Um, so far the flying squirrel has claimed many lives. Okay, so as I was saying, we're gonna have to have. I think we're gonna do like a. That was a weird beacon problem going on just now. I don't know what that was, but I didn't like it. So. Uh, there we go. If we wanted to continue the full block look. I don't know why that happened, if I'm being honest. But it doesn't really matter because what matters is that it happened and it was embarrassing for everybody involved. Oh, good. That's what you want. Uh, Chad, I think it is in it's in everyone's best interest to kind of forget from an OSHA standpoint what's happened here today and maybe look the other direction for things with regards to that's my thoughts. If you concur, you let me know. I feel like that's just in everybody's interest. That's what we should do is is you know stuff. Yeah, yeah. Just let that you should yeah we should forget that this didn't happen today. I feel like I get a mulligan maybe. Do I get do I get a mulligan? You let me know. That I believe mulligan is in order. And if that's not true, then maybe we contact the Council of Elders or something. That's what I say. If you agree, say nothing. Aw, you guys said nothing. Thanks, you agree. There was a thing that happened. I don't know how to finish this out, but this is kind of what I was going for. I like the idea of this little barge thing, looking like a barge thing. If we come over here, I know that the idea was to like bring it down. Just keep on bringing it down. I think what we're going to do, though, for speculative purposes, I do want to extend out the grinders, so those things are going to have to get moved over. But actually, I don't really mind the way that looked just now, but we're going to do this. So if we do, how did I do it on the other side? I think I did it like this. No, how did I do it on the other side? Let's go find out. I did the wrong thing. This is what I did. Let's go ahead and lift off, and we can take a look. So I had well, there's that. That solves that. That's the solution to that problem. That this will not work. Good to know. I appreciate the information, the input, if you will. Um, nope, that's wrong. How did we how do we achieve that angle? Oh, we did it like that. Okay, so that's not wrong. Yeah, okay. Now. In theory, so what I have here, if I go into this and I say welders, FS welders, that already exists, so I can knock this guy off here, groups, welder on, welder off. I can land really quick, lock it down, and then I can turn these on and I'll weld myself. And then in theory, because I have this FS seat controller, I should be able to select. We got 1, 2, 3, 4. The group 4 is going to be to turn the welders off um, when disconnected. Welders turn. No, no, that doesn't work. We need a secondary event controller that specifically is for cockpit occupation. That's what we need. You guys are right. Good job. Good job, you guys. That's why we're paying you the bucks of some nondescript variant. So yeah, okay, so this is what we're going for. I think it looks cool. You guys let me know. I need some design elements. It does need some lighting. We're not wrong on that. So I think we're gonna do um just for the grins of it. What if we did? We're gonna do this guy here, and then I think I want to do another guy right there. That should be for the, what side is this? This is the right side, so that's starboard. I don't know why I said starboard. Super weird. Twice in a row. Starboard. Oh, with the spelling and oh, okay. Let's. What's going on here? And starboard is green because why? Because the left is port because ports are red. And why isn't there any port left? Thanks, John. I'll never not forget that now. That's on you for the reason that that occurs. We're gonna go with a 2.5 second blink with a 62% blink offset. And then since this is locked down, I can turn on the welders once again. There we go. Look at that. Beautiful. We need another one, so we're definitely going to need more lights. There we go. There's that guy. And then we're going to need the same thing on the other side, so we can go ahead and knock this guy down and this guy right there. 7 is this guy there. And then we're going to need a block there to give this block here. And then we can just paste starboard lights. And then what we're going to do here is we'll change the name to port. Because raisins. And then we come over here and we go red, red. And we cut it down to reddish color. And then now when we do this, copy all, down like so. So you control click the thing, you mouse down, it brings up that version of the build meeting instead of the radio, and then you page down, boom, copy. Page up copies, page down pastes. And then we weld. And just like that, we've got lights on the side. That's not visual lights. That's not going to be helpful for anything. But this is kind of what I was thinking. I do want to go for some more. So that's this little thingy. That's this. We're definitely sun exposed. So let's get inside, take a quick shower. Apparently, I've got my caps lock on. I'm going to try to fix that without messing my thing up. Come in here. I need to eat a snack while I'm in the shower. You know, your shower kelp crisps does a body good. Nice. Get the flavors of the kelp crisp while we get detoxed. That was a lot. What are we at? We're at 50 minutes just dealing with the chaos of me dying a whole bunch. You know, I didn't. You know what we need to do? We need to do death counter. How many taters? That way we can have bigger font, right? So we can. There you go. Chad and company. My shame on display. That look. You know what? Let's take a look at the event controller really quick. Let's dive in, shall we? We have a base event controller. Added to this base event controller is a literally not every cockpit. Um, cool, cool. Never mind, it's on me. My fault, 100%. We all knew that anyways, but now I'm admitting to it. All right, so let's get back out here and take a look. I definitely want to add some more blocks to this thing. I think, cool. Look at that. Look, for a game since 2013, this game has been out. Obviously, there's some graphical enhancements and stuff, but would you just look at that? Like, let's get a view. Look at Tater in his element. Like, it's almost prophetic how good this looks. And maybe that's the message. It's like a cell going through mitosis. All right, screenshot done. Look at that. I fixed the problem. All right, so we definitely want to get these guys out a little bit. I think I have too much crap in my inventory to um, do what I want to do. So let's go ahead and chop this boy off. And same with this guy. And how far do we think we want to stick these out? I feel like, let's see. If we go 1, is that enough or should we go 2? I feel like 2 may be the answer. And then let's go grab this guy here. We want the cool grinders. We want grinder to be right side up, not right side down. So then do this. We can come in here. We say FS, grinders, grinder type 3. We can definitely just, we don't need, we don't need all that business, really. We don't need the proof of our failures, if you will. FS grinders, FS grinder. So there we go. Perfect. And yeah, and then if we go here and we say grinders group, oh, we can't do anything. We need to switch sides really quick. Are we still locked down? We are, so let's go ahead and get this welded up. Oh, that's solid work. That's gonna, Jesus Christ. You know, just when you think you know a guy. Why can't I weld these up? Let's go ahead and, also, why am I not getting irradiated currently? I feel like I should be. All right, now we can go in here and we say FS grinders, the group, we say on, off, bada boom, bada bing, on. I do so love that this is, oh, because I had to, Jesus. See, guys, what did I say? What are we doing here? Grinder. FS grinders are both there, on, off. Beautiful. Okay, we still need light. Now the barge is obviously in reverse here. This is going to be going backwards. And I think what we're going to do, oh, maybe not that. We may go back to this right there, and then right there. And then I think, just out of pure fun, beautiful. Look at that. Look at that. We're making progress. This is what dreams are made of right here. He's gonna add some weight. I think we can do some lights here. So we could do like a. Is there one that's just? We could do that. I'm thinking this. We want to do like a. Yeah, like that. That looks neat. And then like that. So that's gonna be that angle there, and then. Hmm. I think that'd be good for those lighting right there. Come over here, we're definitely gonna need some lights on the front of this bad boy. I think first and foremost, the biggest one, we can just do one right there in the middle because we don't need too much more than that. And then we don't really have blocks to protrude outwards, but if we did, same thing we can do the other side where we do this like that. And then I think we're gonna drill one block in. Is that right? Do we want to do one more? I think that's good. I think that's good right there. And then we do that guy right there. Look at that. Perfect. Just like so. We crank on the LEDs. It's obviously bright out, so we're not going to get to see these lights in action. But I think that'll be good. I'm going to put in a second event controller. You're not going to believe why. I'll give you one hint. It's because I just cooked myself royally, and I feel like maybe doing that a third time on stream is not the move. So for that being the case, what we're going to do is I think we're going to put this somehow. I want to put we're going to call this event controller. We're going to call this FS event controller 2, and this is going to be specifically when the cockpit's empty. interleave cockpit, we're going to say this guy, this guy. We're going to add those blocks. And what is it going to do? The only thing it's supposed to do in this moment for right now is to turn these things off so I don't cook myself out on the job. So then now I should be able to hop over here. We got turn on the welders. We can't weld up that last block for some inexplicable reason. We jump out, welders off. Yay, I'm not going to die again immediately. We'll see about that. That's, you know, that's it's debatable. It's okay. And I think right there, right there. Same over here. Get some blocks down. I think it's funny that this vehicle can't weld the back of itself. I don't know why. That seems pretty comical to me. Like I can weld all of that, and I can also, if we go to the base welders, the base welders are these guys here. So if we go turn on, turn off, I can turn on this guy. Can it hit it? But that one can hit it. Look at that. Oh, because you know what? Small grid, 8 blocks from the other thing is longer than 8 blocks. That makes sense. Um, yeah, that makes sense-ish. Okay, so then we have that block there. I want to, it needs to be supported because that looks wonky that it's not. There we go. We got that block there. Oh, you know what we should do instead of those blocks? I know you guys are like, oh my gosh, get this over with, Tater. What are we doing right now? We're just designing? Is this shipbuilding 101? It's not. It's not, because if it was, it would be good. And we all know what this is currently. Good adjacent. That's right. Good adjacent. And sometimes, kids, good adjacent's all you can hope for. Other times you can, um, hope for things that are better than good adjacent. I think. I don't know if I want to. I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do about that. Those are going to be. I haven't decided what we're doing here because I kind of like. I kind of like the idea of some of this being filled in, but I also kind of like it not being filled in. So what if we. What if? I know you guys are like, come on, Tater, move it or lose it. I don't know if you're like that actually, but if you were, I get it. You know, when I was a young warthog, trying to find that special block, that one right there. That's the special block I was looking for, and then this special block to complement it. Beautiful. Which means I can take this block out, and then I can decide what I want to do with this space if I want to do anything. I don't feel like I do. Part of me thinks I can just, like, what if I just do that right there, and then the block that I used on that other thing, we'll just get the reverse of it. And then, there you go. And I can just do this so I don't have to weld all up. Look at that. Okay, that looks neat. Yeah, okay. Not bad. And then when we turn the lights on, we've got some lights to either side. If we want to do a quick test, let's go ahead and turn those guys off. We want to do a quick test. We're zero, we have 0 weight currently, but we've gained a little bit of weight. But yeah, but look at the lighting over here. We can see everything. Like that is the kind of lighting barge we're looking for, you know. And then we've got these blinky lights. I think it looks kind of neat. I was thinking about doing some different blocks. I haven't decided, but what do you guys think of this thing? I think it looks cool. Looks like a barge. We need to finish out the bottom. I plan to build some of that out. Obviously, we have the landing gear there, so I can hook onto stuff and carry it places. But you know, this is my flying squirrel. This is what we got going on. We've built this out, so if we find another wreck, I can properly consume it. I'll finish this out. Obviously, when I built it initially, it was not big enough for the flying squirrel, nor does a flying squirrel's area have lights other than the 2 landing lights right there. So, you know, work in progress coming. Yeah, more to come. TM hashtag. There we go. We're locked. Are we locked on? We're not. Or are we not? What is going on here? Can we please just, how about we think about it? Nope, nope, we're not thinking about it. What is going on? Are we... There we go. It's like, what is happening? This thing is not locking down. I do like the extra width and the weight. I think that's cool. So yeah, this is it. I already have a screenshot. It doesn't include the flying squirrel because we're not really talking about this round. We're going to talk about those deaths, I guess. But if you guys enjoyed this, you know what to do. I am excited. We got ourselves a builder down. So the next step, next episode, we are building a farm. And I'm thinking, if we come out here, I'm thinking this looks like a great farm plot. Look, it's relatively flattish. It's right next to the industrial factory, which, you know, makes the most sense for how you want to produce your food. You want to make sure like that. Plus, we need a through pipe. We need to be able to go to the factory, and then you come off and you come down and you go to a little diner slash farm. That's what we're gonna do. So maybe farm is next. I know we need to take that other base, and if we take a look at our map, the supply post is what we're taking. And I think the only thing we're gonna do with that, honestly, we're just gonna take the H nutter over there, and we're gonna blitz that mother. Take it out, get rid of it, end it. Um, and that is what we're going to do. And I just got dinner delivery, which means it's perfect time for me to say goodbye and good night. If you guys enjoyed this, you know what to do. I really appreciate you guys all coming along. Thanks for the comments. Keep them coming. And as always, I will fail to turn around. I will catch you later, taters. We can see if we can wave. We know we're not going to be able to. But what we can do is check the time and say, be kind and stay ornery. And no comments about the deaths, John, Chad, Clyde. Looking at you guys. No, go ahead and comment. I need the interaction, but you know, be gentle. Bye.